that said, I'm going to bring him on the show right now. There he is, the man of the hour, Charleston Rambo.
There he is.
Charleston, welcome to the Lamar Thomas Show. The first question, I think, is, do you know who Lamar Thomas is?
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely.
Lamar was Rambo before Rambo.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, you ain't got to lie, man. Whoa. You ain't got to lie, dog.
Yes, sir. I know who that is.
All right. You ever see him take his helmet off, like after every catch? You guys can't do that anymore. You know why you can't do that anymore? Because of him.
How you doing, Mr. Rambo? Great game, by the way. Enjoyed watching you play. The question I have for you before we even get it going, why Miami? Why Miami? Why did you transfer here to Miami?
Just knowing the good history here and the players that come in and out of here make plays, and knowing the ability, the players at QB like King and Harley at receiver, Bubba at DB, hitting my line, wanted me here. So, the love and, obviously coming here and just working. No other place I thought, it was more places on my mind, but the U was where my heart was at.
How different is it from Oklahoma? I'm not saying wins and losses or scoring every 5 seconds, but how different is it? The practices, you're going against the DBs. Are you learning anything different by being here? Because you're obviously better this year than you were last year, and you'll be the first to admit that.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Just having the old players here and their what they want us to do on the field and what we want to do in our mind, just all come together at practice, and we just need to show that on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Yes, sir.
LT, what have you seen from Charleston so far this season? What are your thoughts on his game?
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you too is you're on the right side a lot.
Yeah.
Do you guys switch sides, or why are you? What is?
We got formation. I can switch, go left side, slide, left, outside. But it's just whatever defense give us, we're gonna take control of that and eliminate anything else outside of what we got going in our game plan.
Yeah, that's big.
Coach Likens, we were talking about you, man. He enjoys coaching. He said you step up. You're a tough kid. You step up to the plate. You have a son.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. My junior, Charleston Rambo II.
Yeah, and he told me that. And you play for him, huh? You play for your son. You play for your kid.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Hey, you got one guy, Richard Hill. Rambo, thanks for coming to the U. So that's from one of our guys, Richard Hill, who comments every week. He's a great guy and a big Kane fan. So he welcomes you, even though you're halfway done with the season already.
Yes, sir.
What about blocking?
Here.
What about, we all know Lamar can tell you to get up to the next level, you got to block. How's your blocking?
My blocking, it's there. Obviously, we got crack blocks put in the play game plan, and when the play is called, I'm there. So big body. I'm gonna get.
You are big. You're bigger than Lamar when he was at the U. Right, Lamar? So was Gary, and so am I.
Yeah.
These guys like crack joke. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, Charleston, I was talking, in the press conference on Saturday night, I talked to you about this a little bit. You came here for the stage. You came here to build a resume. That's why you went in the transfer portal. That's why you picked Miami. And it's such a credit to you guys. And we've been talking about it earlier in the show. The way that you guys have hung in there through adversity, you haven't let it divide you guys. We do blogs at Kane Sport with Mike Harley and Tyreek, so we talk about this kind of stuff every week. But you guys haven't let this divide the locker room. You guys haven't let this point fingers. And you had being a human being, probably a little frustrated at midseason that you weren't having more of these 9-catch, 127-yard games. But then you go out there on a national stage on Saturday night on national TV, and you got it done. And I just think it's a credit to you guys for hanging in there.
Yes, sir. More to come.
Ooh. Is that a prediction?
Most, yeah.
I know everybody's lips are sealed now after last week, but hey, good luck, man. Really.
Well, speaking of which, Tyler Van Dyke made that prediction last week that you guys were going to put a lot of points up on NC State, and actually was talking to Harley about this earlier this week. That it kind of made the receiver room want to line up behind him a little bit and have his back and make big plays, so that you guys did put a lot of points up, and they weren't sitting there saying Tyler Van Dyke was blowing a bunch of smoke. Talk a little bit about a teammate laying the gauntlet out like that, and then you guys as his teammates having his back and standing behind them.
Just obviously having Tyler at quarterback is big because we know he's competitive. We see it at practice. He want to make throws. He want to make these different runs, and obviously he put on film that he can run. So we love what Tyler got going and his leadership and his confidence going forward.
Yeah, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's proven how tough he is. I mentioned that before, how tough he is. He's tough. He's not afraid of anything. He's a good.
Nah, he doesn't talk much. He's tough.
You can tell he's getting more comfortable, right?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. We see it in his throws on the field and what he's obviously saying in the locker room.
Right. I don't know if you can answer this, or you should be able to answer this. Why were you guys up until this last game so slow coming out of the gate? Do you have an answer to that?
It's just our game plan. We just need to just execute our plays better. Obviously we probably might be short on a route, or somebody didn't go through the different protection. So just be better at our execution.
Okay.
When you go to practice every day, in your mind as a receiver, obviously you want to catch as many passes as you can, right? And when you walk off that field and you've caught, 10, 11, 12 balls, you got to think that's not enough. So you definitely go over to that judge machine. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Okay,
every day.
All right.
We can judge every day.
I got to make sure, dog, because,
Yeah,
hey,
most
man, listen, you can't, even if you have a career day in practice, it still ain't enough. It still ain't enough. You got to catch 100, maybe 150 that day to make you feel like, you know what, I've done my job. I've gotten better today. And, when you, as a receiver, when you're out there every day, you're trying to figure out how can I get better? What are some of the drills you like when you're in practice, or what are some of the things you do to kind of get yourself going in practice, to get yourself to feel like, hey, I'm going to get better today?
When I get there, a good stretch with I'm not even know how to describe the pad, but it's something you put on the foot and stretch your leg out, and then over the head, shoulder catches, any balls thrown out of my reach. So that's a good one to wake up my arms or something. But it's a lot of different things that wake me up at practice.
Hey, Charleston, Sadrack Doris, one of our viewers, is asking what young receivers you see coming up as playmakers outside of yourself for the future. You guys got a lot of talented freshmen on this team, a whole lineup of young receivers that are trying to become what you are right now. What are you seeing from the young kids on this team?
They all show heart, grit. They make plays at practice, competitive. Those guys, the receiver, the young guys, they're going to be a good group. So Brinson, Brashad, Arroyo, Jacoby George, they all make plays at practice and just put things on tape at practice, let us know they can be a star one day.
What do you think of the one-handed catch that Brinson made a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yeah. He hard for that. That was a good play. But I've seen him make plays like that before.
And he keeps telling you how good it was, wasn't he? Doesn't he?
Yeah, he bring it up, but it's there. We know what he can do, and he know what he can do, and we put that in the past. We just move on from that.
Hey, Rambo, question for you: were you nervous when your thought process of coming into a new place and you got 1 year, or how many years you got? How many years you got to go?
COVID, so too, but yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, get going.
Okay, but were you nervous? I'm putting it out there. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. were you nervous just coming into a new, you know how it was when you were a freshman going to Oklahoma, you were nervous. You know how that is. Now you come to a new spot, you're trying to, I want to say not impress, but you're trying to show these people that, hey man, I'm worth my weight. And I mean, how was that feeling, or how was that transition coming from Oklahoma to the University of Miami?
You said was I scared or something? Nah, I
No,
don't.
not scared. I ain't say
Nah, I
scared. Now
don't fear
I said, were
nothing.
you
I don't
nervous?
fear
You know, you
nothing.
had the nerve. You got
Nervous.
the nervous feeling of meeting new people, being around
Oh
new
yeah,
guys,
yeah, yeah.
and you
I
don't
mean,
know how they're going to react to you. You don't know how the coach is going to treat you, because we all know coaches will tell you one thing on the phone, but when they get you in person, you know how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah. Well, this player on the team hit me up and was just wanting me here. So I mean, I feel like it was a good place to go to. You know, team comeback, seniors, leadership. So I mean, good program and the history. So I mean, just come here, work, and I know the receiver I am in my mindset. So you know, it is at the end of the day, and yeah. So
Now, Lamar, you coached a big receiver like Charleston Rambo at the University of Louisville. Lamar was the receiver coach at Louisville a few years back, and Devontae Parker was in your receiver room. Very similar game to what Charleston Rambo has, Lamar. And
Yeah.
what type of advice can you give Charleston? Wisdom can you impart as he goes through these next few months of finishing this season, and then he's got to make a decision: am I ready to go into the NFL draft, or do I come back for one more year? He just told us what he would like to do. What wisdom could you impart? I mean, Devontae Parker was a first-round draft pick of the Miami Dolphins.
Well, the most important thing is to stay aggressive. You know, you got to be aggressive out there. That ball's in the air. You got to know that you don't know how many chances you're going to get. So you got to react before that defender reacts, and just stay aggressive. One of the things Devontae Parker was able to do in college, his catch radius was crazy. And it's kind of like what you were saying about balls every which way. You got to be able to make those catches. But he practiced those catches all the time, whether it was low balls, and it made that quarterback feel a sense of confidence going to him, because he knew that he was going to give everything he had to catch that football. And that's one of the things that made that kid great coming out of college and made him a first rounder. So, you know, I see a lot in your game as far as some of the similarities, but you got to continue to stay aggressive. And when you get those one-on-one shots, you got to make it happen no matter what. And I'm sure Coach Likens is telling you that. He's coached some great ones too. And you just got to continue to get better. Every day when you leave that practice field, you got to say to yourself, I got better today. If you don't, you're cheating yourself, because somebody around the country has gotten better that day.
And, you know, one of the things that I saw on Saturday night was really for one of the first times this season, Charleston, is you guys came into that game with defined playmakers. Your quarterback was going to attack down the field. He was going to be aggressive. The play calls were aggressive. Your running back, Rooster, he was going to be a run-pass threat, both running the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield. And you were going to be a go-to guy at receiver. You were going to be a number one receiver Saturday night. You got the opportunity, and you delivered. As a player, how much better did that make you, feeling that sense of, I'm the guy tonight, this ball's coming to me, and I'm going to make plays?
Regardless, every route I run, I feel like the ball is coming my way. So it's just my mindset and how our other receivers' mindset should be as well, as we talked about it. Like Lamar said, with Coach Liking. So it's just a mindset.
I like it. I like it, man. I tell you, man, I'm excited. And we saw you guys celebrating in that locker room. And, you know, some people are like, oh, they just won a game. Hell, you know what? Celebrate on, baby.
Yeah.
Carry it on the next week. That's a good thing. You guys won a hard-fought game over a good football team that was ranked highly. You know what? Continue it, brother. Pass it on to the rest of those guys and carry this thing over so we can get this win against Pitt. So don't worry about the outside noise. Only worry about the inside noise that you got with your team.
100.
Good advice.
Now, Charleston, how about the quarterbacks? You start the year with WR King, and I imagine WR King is a big part of the reason you came to Miami, right?
Yes, sir.
You guys knew each other, from what I remember, correct?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, so he played a part in bringing you here, and then he goes down, early in the season. What was going through your mind at that point?
No panic. So I wasn't just fearing nothing, but obviously next man up and whoever at quarterback, I'm gonna be the same receiver I was for King, and I'm gonna get open for you and just be better for you. So going from there.
And then, of course, you had Tyler Van Dyke and Jake Garcia competing with each other. Tell us the receiver's viewpoint of those two guys.
Of Tyler and Jake,
Yeah.
just knowing both of those guys can throw. I played with both of those guys in spring while King was rehabbing and coming off his injury. So, I mean, we had chemistry. So, I mean, just them coming in there on Saturday and being quarterback for the team.
And then, of course, Tyler is showing week-to-week progression. How much better is he today than maybe he was 3 weeks ago?
Much better. I mean, the team feel him. He feel the team. And we building out Tyler. Tyler being the guy for us. And, I mean, he just needs to keep being him. And we be better for him as the road go on.
I'm sure after this past weekend's games, you guys have to have a lot of confidence in him now. The level of confidence has gone way up in the last few weeks.
We had confidence before that, so I mean, confidence is still there through the roof with the L or with the W. But we know Tyler is, and Tyler know what he can do.
Hey Rambo, one more question before you go, man. And it's just a personal question. Is my picture still up in that room up there?
No, it might be.
It's up there. This is number 36.
So, yeah.
You gotta look at it and say, man, what the hell that dude doing up there with the number 36 on? That's me, dog.
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah.
It's up there. It's up there. It's up there. So when you see it, man, send me a message. Say, yeah, it's up here. All right.
For sure, I'm gonna tap in.
All right.
Nobody covered it up yet, huh?
Nah, it ain't covered up.
They didn't put a Charleston Rambo poster over Lamar's picture.
Hey, you next, baby. You next. You next. Dog. You next.
Maybe if you get 9 catches this Saturday, then we'll see. But nah, man.
Let's go for 10.
Yeah, let's go for 12.
What does Pittsburgh look like, Charleston? What do we got? What do you got this weekend? What's Pittsburgh defense look like?
I mean, press corners, cover 4, man. We see the game plan, and we just need to execute. And I mean, Tyler, let's get right. But I don't know what about the temperature looking like, because that's what that is. Pittsburgh.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
What is like in Pitt?
It's going to be like 50, 55 maybe. It might be rainy.
Oh, yeah, it feel good. Yeah, we coming out there sleeveless.
Oh.
They did that a few years ago. They had no shirts on before it was like 20 degrees.
Yeah, that's good weather. That's some good weather.
Yeah.
So.
I like the attitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the attitude.
Yeah.
But man, we sure appreciate you being on the show, man. And I'm a big fan, just like a lot of the alumni. You keep doing it, keep getting those guys going, continue to make plays, and let's try to string together some wins, and keep celebrating in the locker room. How about that?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
But don't take your helmet off. Don't take your helmet off the way Lamar used to. They'll give you a 15-yard penalty. You'll have to do extra running at practice.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Charleston. Great seeing you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Continued success.
All right.